you. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
All of it. That's all there is. Look, I saw him make the deposit. Give me the money, you fucker.
Hey, you!
What
the hell? Hey, what are you doing? Hey! Hey! Hey!
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Is my camera off? Looked a little crooked there. Top 10 vinyl finds of 2025. Yes, we have made it. It's that favorite time of the year. Kind of reflecting back on the timeline of records we picked up throughout the months, and it's been a pretty good year. So I got 8 LPs, and then we're going to conclude it with 2 singles that I found in person. That seems to be the case the last couple years. My best finds happen to be some singles. Who would have thunk? When it's not even really my focus necessarily as much as the LPs. But I did some hard digging, and one of them fell into the shop. And I also have these kind of arranged in a way where, even though they're top finds, I arranged them from like least desirable, least valuable, to like Holy Grail level. So we're going to conclude it with the best of the best. The last single we're going to share is a Holy Grail for me, because even locally it's like, you'll never find it, Derek, and somehow it found me. So pretty nuts, man. And I'd like to think this year, was I on the naughty or nice list? I'd like to think the nice list. You know, I'm a pretty fragile kind of guy. Didn't ask for a leg lamp, but I did pick up something from Santa this year. He came a little early. The Seeds, A Web of Sound. Thank goodness for screen printing, man. The Seeds, A Web of Sound. Nice little texture here. Fits just right. Doesn't have the stereo up on top. This is just the way I wanted it printed out. I told you I'd do it. I told you it was going to happen. It fits me just right. My muscular body structure just fits really nice on me. You know, it's been kind of a heavy-handed year in 2025. Back in July, of course, as you know, losing one of my best friends, my mom. Lost her back in July. You'd think around the holidays it'd be a little more on my mind, or you'd assume that it'd be a lot harder on me, and it's really just been about the same. So she's on my mind all the time, always heavy, weighing heavy on my mind. So it's really no different. But, you know, on a positive tip, she knew that my album was coming out this year, Astral Yacht, so she'd be really proud of the success and the way it's taken off. At least somebody believed in me, you know. It's just kind of a miracle in itself that I wasn't even really seeking out to release a record. I just did it for merely the fact of just enjoying performing music and having a label contact me, finding about my channel and listening to my demos that I was just throwing out there for fun. Turned it into a whole new thing. So I had to become like a salesman in a way, try to figure out how Bandcamp works, how to sell records, where to buy mailers from, all this sort of things. So yeah, a lot of good things have happened in 2025, but you know, with the surgery getting in the way too, the deviated septum, and the funeral, losing one of my closest people, you know, it's just, it's been a whirlwind for sure. So, and the months have just flown by. I mean, since July, since it's happened, you know, still feeling pretty numb from it all. You know, there's a little bit of a bridge gap in between me purchasing too, so kind of slowed down a little bit And of course, as I always mention, being a little more selective about what I'm picking up these days as well. Not trying to, I kind of like scouring through the bargain bin, but trying not to go all gung-ho on like original pressings, going to Den Bosch and picking up every $1,000 original that I would dream about owning. I still got a lot of time left on this earth, so I think we can make up for it. I got a lot of what I want already, so anyways, enough babbling. Let's dive in. I probably won't spend a whole lot of time on these. I just like to showcase them because some of these I did talk about in recent months as well. So we're going to start off with this one. I think I found this early on, maybe back in April, May, around there. This is Ancient Greece, Women and Children First. On the Mercury label, this is a US pressing. I paid $75, but I got some trade deal on this one too. Very clean copy. I think I paid like $30 for it out of pocket. And I definitely prefer the UK sleeve over the US. This just looks like some really greasy, roly-poly kind of stuff. I really dig it, really. I kind of like the blue cover on that UK original. Yeah, very clean disc. And I have to say, man, this is one that definitely grew on me. It wasn't really love at first sight, first listen, but it's definitely got a little bit of a stronghold. I'd say the strong tracks outweigh any of the duds, because there's definitely like maybe 2 or 3 duds on here. But my favorites include Mother Grease the Cat. It's got a cool riff to it. It's very English. I think Eagle Song's the other one, and then Prelude to a Blind Man is one of the other hard rockers on here. So when they go hard rock, they do good. But there's a few like acoustic intervals that they play, and it just kind of doesn't really fit their style, in my opinion. This is produced by the guy from Eyes of Blue, John Weathers. He also arranged a lot of these tracks, the musical compositions. So yeah, it's a bit in that same ballpark, Eyes of Blue. A little bit progressive hard rock kind of sounds. Got a little bit of Hammond organ on select cuts. So yeah, this one's warmed up to me over the years, and really glad to snatch that up because I was a little on the fence about it initially. Got this on the cheap end because of the condition, and I think I talked about this only in the Ghost Riders video. And this is the Dean Davis Company, Stone County Road. As you can tell by the little bit of water damage there. Knocked down the price quite a bit on this, and whenever I would seek this out online, you'd see it for 40, 50 bucks, but the condition would always be a little scattery, without a sleeve or a really damaged disc, but the cover's okay. And the prices were just kind of always fluctuating. So when I picked this up for 20 bucks in the shop, that was right in my price range, and like way below my price range for what I wanted to pick this up for. And the disc is okay. It's like a BG. Plays pretty strong. Dean Davis, he was based out of the Colorado area. They would later relocate to Kearney, Nebraska once he got married, and it's kind of like a coffee house group goes electric in a way. They play a lot of different coffee houses and the college circuits. And then I think for a time they played overseas, performing for the troops. Kind of like that other group, Lightstorm, did the same thing. But yeah, Dean Davis, it's very folk pop, folk rock driven. They do a few covers on here. California Dreamin', White Rabbit, Tomorrow Never Comes, The Pirates of Stone County Road. It's got this, this is probably the most trippy of his output. It's got the most organ, got this kind of hazy Vox organ kind of sounds, female male harmonies. Doesn't get very fuzzed out or electric, but it's percussive, it's upbeat in some spots, and kind of hazy, dreamy Colorado Rocky Mountain folk rock. It's really good. So yeah, I have most of Dean Davis output on the Etc. label. I used to have the other one, Timberline. It's the same band that would go on to Epic Records, but I parted with that a long time ago. So definitely recommend that. And then on to this next one. This is, I think this was an eBay find, right? I think so. It was a really good price. I made an offer for like 60 bucks. And this is The Gift of Randy Johnson. This one usually suffers with ring wear and you just never see it around popping up. If you do, it's always like 200 bucks. There was a guy on Discogs who just refreshed this every day for 200 bucks in the US. I'm like, I've never seen it go for that much. And it really shouldn't either. I mean, I'd say around the price I grabbed it for, 60, was just about right. And this is a clean disc. I talked about this one recently. It's a promo here. Don't know much about him. Must have had some sort of inheritance, had a lot of money backing him up on this thing. Just came out of the blue and arranged this orchestra backing him up. Kind of sounds like daytime television kind of orchestration, but somehow it works, man. He's got a lot of Baroque pop sounds, a little bit of a eccentric voice, and kind of lounge poppy, and somehow it just naturally falls into that post-psychedelic headspace, and there's some cool tracks on here. So a little loungy, a little eccentric, but somehow it all kind of pans out. On the Amaret label, same label that gave us Crow. So yeah, don't know where this kid went or whatever became of him, but I think he did like a soundtrack in the 70s. He had like a glam rock single, and that's about it. Very glad to pick that up. That's been a very long want on the want list. Just very, very elusive title. And then moving on to this one. This is one of the finds from Vintage Vinyl this year. As well as Dean Davis. The Dean Davis one I actually found in the new arrival section, just flipping along. I was like, well, I can't assume he knows everything that I'm looking for. But he sent this one my way in a photo through a text, and this is 49th Parallel. It's a US promo copy, DJ copy. Yeah, disc is not the best on this one, the condition. So had the price knocked down quite a bit on this. It's through a distribution of MGM. It's like on the Maverick label. And I hadn't really listened to this too much this year, but I plan to change that. And kind of Baroque pop, psych pop, but then they kind of rock out in some spots in a kind of garage vein. So a little bit of everything on here. You just never see it. So 49th Parallel. Check it out. Get a shot of the label here. It's got some scuffing, but seemed to play through all right. This is actually from Vinyl Piper. This is one that was gifted to me very graciously. And I told the story back when I shared this one. You know, somebody had left the parcel door open outside, and I don't know what happened there, but I was gone for a whole extended weekend and almost lost this one. This is Patoof by the Deviants. So for the longest time, I had the reissue from 2012, I think it was, where the cover folds out. I still have it, but just to have one on Decca, I think this is the second press, because originally it came out on a smaller label, but just to have it on Decca, being picked up like a couple years later. You also just never see this in the US. It's got the original company sleeve. And the Deviants, man, they go way back for me. I discovered them back in my high school days, you know, late 2000s, like 2009, around there. And yeah, for the longest time, I was just like, I want this so bad. And so yeah, I picked up that reissue soon after. You know, I like to think of them as sort of like the Fugs or Mothers of Invention if they were from the UK. It's got a little bit of that style, you know, a little bit of that rhythm and blues mixing with sort of a punk attitude. A lot of things going on here. A lot of satire of the whole counterculture scene. You got a track called I'm Coming Home. Sounds like the Stooges. Garbage, of course. Deviation Street. This is like underground London 101. Love this style. So thank you so much, Chris, for sending this my way. Would have never guessed. I mean, I don't know if I could top this VCLT from you, man. I know I sent a couple deals your way regarding Forever's a Dream and a few other things. So this was a very generous gift. So much so that it made the top 10 of the year on that classic Decca label. Really nice. So thanks again, Chris. All right, these next two, these are actually pretty recent picks, so I won't talk a whole lot about them. But this is NSU, Turn On or Turn Me Down. It's on the Stable label. Got this one from a US seller. Condition's a little iffy on this, but like a lot of things on the Stable label, they they don't last. The quality's not the greatest. It's kind of like the Saga label that released 5 Day Week Straw People and Magic Mixture. It's almost on that kind of same quality as far as like the quality control is concerned, but it's a pretty heavy record, so a lot of this does play through pretty well. It's like a couple moments of some irritating surface noise, but it's on the softer moments, like the Stone track. What's it called? Stoned? Yeah. So yeah, check this one out. It's a kind of a hard rock bluesy quintet from Scotland, from Glasgow, and this is one I've been trying to track down for a long time. I almost picked this up some years ago. It was a toss-up between this or Little Free Rock. I picked Little Free Rock at the time, but glad to own both of them now. So yeah, I've been really trying to track down an original press of this, and to find it around $100 in the US, can't go wrong. And then I talked about this one pretty recently. This is the last recent one on the list. Scored this one out of the same area that this group formed from. Our Generation, Dawning of the Day, the debut record from the Christian psych rock kind of gathering here, based from Yak, New York, which is like a little village up north of NYC. I like to imagine this is one of the more cleaner copies out there. I mean, doesn't get any better than this. I know there was a whole barn full that got rescued some years ago, and I don't think it's from this pile. This one's from that pile, but seems to have held up for quite a while, so it's held up over the years. VG Plus. So it turned out really nice. A little bit on the psych pop kind of side, but it does have some nice crude fuzz backing on some tracks. And this is definitely one of the more top of the top heap when it comes to Christian psych. And if you like it with a little more fuzz, definitely check out their second one, Praise and Prayer. It's worth looking into. So, all right, and then we'll conclude it with this one. This is probably my favorite LP find of the year. I got this one from the country of origin. This is Socrates Strength LP. This is their first album here, Polydor label. And just to find these in the US, I mean, good luck, especially in this good a shape. Not too unlike Zambia records. These kind of records from Greece can be a little questionable sometimes, so you got to be careful out there. I had a good audio clip of this record, sampled it before I bought it, had some great photographs, and got this pretty well under the going rate as well. When you look at the disc, I mean, you're going to say, yeah, that's a P grade, like the poor grading. It's pretty scuffed up, but I'll tell you what, man. For the most part, this slays. I mean, the only parts that are irritating are in between the tracks when there's nothing happening. You hear a little bit more of that surface noise, a little bit of crackle, but it doesn't really peek through too many of the songs. And for some reason, when I shared this online, some people just did not get as hyped about this as much as I do. I think this is a really amazing kind of hard rock, power trio dominating record, man. This one slays for me. Progressive hard rock. Sometimes it has a little bit of that early ZZ Top grit to their style. And I don't know, it's just, for me, it just totally rocks out. Got some dueling guitar, got some echoing guitar on some spots. Really heavy for its time. My favorite track might be Underground or Blind Illusion. It's a Disgusting World. And who could go wrong with that album art? Unimaginable that I even have this at this point. Because I only just gave this a first true listen some years ago, and this is one of my favorites. So definitely going to be putting that in the special pile. And then that leads us to our last two here with the singles. These found me both in person, and I scooped up a really good deal with this first one too. My mom had just passed. The day she passed, I was using up some vacation days to go out west and kind of dig around, but obviously I couldn't. But about a month later or so, I made my way out west to Hastings, Nebraska, and also traveled along to Grand Island the same day. They're about 10-20 mile difference between the two. And the Hastings Antique Mall there, I've always had pretty good luck with, but this was like the best dig of all time. Every time I visited there, I found a few other singles that day. I found The Kettle by Coliseum, the promo copy. I found Eyes of Blue promo single. A few other LPs. I found, I think I got it back here. Yeah, the Wood, Brass, and Steel. Found that there. I mean, I just found a bunch of great titles. Nothing would quite lead me up to finding this one because I just found it in a bunch of miscellaneous, just uncategorized singles. They all had sleeves on them, but I was like, this has got to be something, and had no idea what I had at the time until I looked it up on Discogs. We're talking about Shortening Bread by the Readymen on the Banger label. It's a Minnesota-based group. I think they kind of played alongside the Trashmen. This is very much a frat college rock kind of group from the early 60s. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the original picture sleeve. I wish it did. But when I saw this thing, I think the median or the lowest price it ever sold was like 500, 600 bucks on Discogs. So that tells you a lot right there, man. And I think someone paid $1,000 for this at one point. It probably had the picture sleeve. And I probably could recreate it if I wanted to, but just to find this is pretty nuts, man. So early garage, Shortening Bread, they do that traditional track, and then they do a surfer blues instrumental on the back. Got some of that kind of wet surf rock kind of guitar sound. Shortening Bread's pretty raunchy though. Kind of reminds me of the Nova's Crusher single. It's a little bit kind of coming from that headspace. You know, very caveman, frat rock kind of style. So yeah, and this is a pretty good shape too, for its age. I mean, this thing's probably about as old as my dad, and my dad rates a G+, and this is like a VG. Yes, I just vinyl graded my dad. Shortening Bread, Surfer Blues, $2, and I'll show the photo of me finding it just to show you the proof. $2, pretty wild, man. And then that leads us to the top find of the year, and I picked this up back in January of this year, January 2nd. So it qualifies for this year's finds, man. And this is pretty wild. I remember getting a text the evening before I picked it up. So he got it in. He might have got it in December, like the last day of December, but I came into the shop a few days later, and he had texted me saying, "You looking for this?" And I put in all caps, "Yes." Hold on to that, baby. And we're talking about some local legends, Sound Expedition with Ultimate Power on the Century label. With the flip side, which is not as great, Think It Over. I think I knew a little bit about their backstory. I think they had a chance to perform on Dick Clark, which is kind of insane when you think about it. The Ultimate Power is the banger, man. Probably, I think it's safe to say this is like the most psyched out, insane, frantic single to come out of Nebraska. Especially over this time period. You know, this came out in 1969 at the Dick Spencer Sound City recording studio. And I just love to imagine they came in after school, because I think that's how it originated. They came down to the studio after school, just laid down those 2 tracks, and you can imagine like the old engineer got a big cigar in his mouth and being like, "Okay, kids, let's wrap it up. Okay, we'll give this to your parents, the nuclear family, and just kind of send you on your way." When they had no idea, and when their parents listened to that, they'd probably freak the hell out, man. So we got 2 different labels here, which fell off after I purchased it because they were kind of hanging on a little loosely. So Ultimate Power is actually the B-side, the side printed on here. and Ultimate Power's on the B side. So that's why the labels were flipped around and they fell off on their own once I was starting to take pictures of them. So yeah, Ultimate Power, I don't even know how to describe it. I made a whole video talking about this one because I was so hyped about it. Very undistinguishable lyrics. You got this really crazed fuzz guitar. You got this sort of Hammond or compact organ working within. It's got that kind of organ solo, and you get a whole like 2 minutes worth instrumental at the end. Them kind of just doing a free form freak out section. And the hype is real, man. Ultimate Power. And you could sample this online. And this has been comped a couple times. I got a CD where it's on a compilation. And I think just this year or last year, it came out on a vinyl comp. I forget the names of those, but I don't need to worry about it. I got the real thing on the Century label. So yeah, Lincoln, Nebraska. This is from this town, man. Local Grail acquired. Whew. It's a hot one, man. I think they only pressed like 100 copies or so because, I don't know, you just never see them floating around, even locally. And just to have this pop up, somebody that's been dropping a lot of cool titles into the shop had this one day, and whoever that unknown seller is, man, thank you so much for giving it to the right collector, because I could use it. I mean, they probably only pressed like 100 copies of them because the sales history, one copy sold on Discogs, and I think you look on Pops, like there might be maybe 2 listings, so you never see it floating around even locally. So I'd like to know who else has the single. Ultimate Power Sound Expedition. Check it out if you've not been on that journey. It's a wild single, man. So I think that's going to conclude 2025 videos. I'm going to come out with another one soon, I hope, where I'm going to be sharing all the finds from the previous 2 years. Like I said, slideshow style. Going to be kind of sharing those off, having some cool tunes in the background, and going to continue with some live streams, hopefully. So if I'm not too busy or caught up doing things. It's been a good year, man. So that'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and we will see you down the road.
Did you get her home all right? She's very attractive. Who is this? Now, that's the beautiful part of it, isn't it? I know who you are, but you're in the dark. Well, not totally in the dark. I've left your light on for you. Now, come over to the window. Friends. You know that? I mean it.
You know, you're kind of remarkable, you know that? I don't know how you managed to pull it off. Well, I guess you're going to have to tell me one of these days.
But we worked it together, didn't we?
I mean, we ran the same risks, didn't we? We're partners.
I'm going to call the police.
You see this?
Oh, come on. You don't think I'm going to shoot you from here, do you?
I hope you didn't go to any trouble on my account. I'm not going to break the door down. I'm just going to give you a little time to try to be reasonable. If you decide you're not going to be reasonable, then one night when you come home, you'll find me on the inside, waiting for you. And that'll be the night you'll wish you'd never been born.